the little cult of TaylorMade iron people have been dying for this exact iron for years now.
All right, guys, it's time to talk about some players' irons, and I'm really excited about the new P series line from TaylorMade that we have here. So we're going to be talking about the P7CB and then our P770. So between the two, we really have a nice classic look, and then a really nice profile. I think the 770 is the one they've changed the most.
Absolutely.
With a classic look with some technology built into them. So, Jake, looking at the P7CB, it reminds me of some of the TP irons from going several generations ago now.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, so it's, as a TaylorMade irons player, I've played them for a long time. My favorite set of all time still is the 2014 CBs. I love those irons. They're just so classic looking. I think a lot of people got along with those. A lot of people love the 2012s with the little button in the back, what Berger uses still, I believe. And the little cult of TaylorMade iron people have been dying for this exact iron for years now. I mean, we had P760 was a hint at what this could be in the lineup, and then it kind of died a real quick death. And then there's been this gap between 770 and the P7MC that people have really, really wanted something to fall in between those. I think that what they've done with the 770 this year too, bringing it more towards the player and less towards the 790, I think is going to be a brilliant move as far as their lineup is concerned, making sure that different players have different options. So I'm excited to test that one out for sure. I've been waiting for this P7CB for so long. I've had so many conversations with the guys over there about it and the differences between MC and 770 in the past that I think this one, it's still going to be a niche market. I don't think this is like a super high selling iron by any means. But very excited to test both these out.
Yeah, it's just a club that looks awesome in the bag. Overall, if we just do a quick comparison of the two, we're going to see just a thinner sole in the CB as you would expect, and probably, I mean, almost the offset looks identical, honestly, but I'm sure slightly less offset. If you like, again, a smaller profiled cavity back iron, short blade length, pretty thin top line, I think you definitely can't go wrong in testing out that one. And more traditional lofts as well, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, obviously you're going to get speed slot in the P770 series, which is great. The blade lengths are a lot closer than we both thought they were going to be, which is awesome. I think that 770 is going to have a more pronounced position in the lineup this year, where previous generations, the 770 was a little too 790-ish. So at that point, a lot of players just decided to take the forgiveness route of the 790. But now it seems like it has a more concrete position, and there's a really good tiered step 790, 770, CB, MC, MB now, and they've built out a very robust lineup.
Yep. So we've got a hollow body design with at least some amount of speed foam injected into these, I'm sure. So we do have some technology built into them, and then, like you mentioned, the slot in the bottom for your thin shots to maintain your ball speed. And really, this is the one they've changed the look of. So to all the points Jake is echoing here. Really short blade length, pretty thin top line. They really took all that tech and then put it in a compact package. This would be really the iron that I would like to see in my bag, where the bottom, the sole is still fairly thick for what it is.
Yeah, it's not bothersome at all.
But really little offset. I generally like a thicker club, but then the offset is usually the problem I run into, which with these I'd have no problem putting in my bag.
Absolutely.
But we still need to hit them. So let's start off with the CB, and then we can move into the 770. And again, as we like to say, it's not a fitting. We are just doing a comparison between the two. I'd expect a little faster ball speeds off the 770, maybe, but
for sure.
Be curious on the launch conditions, really what changes with those. All right, first swing with it. What's your initial thoughts? It'd be a very good shot if you were playing.
Like just, a quick one swing thing. It's everything I hoped it was going to be, basically. It's been such a gap in the TaylorMade lineup, this exact iron. I'm really happy to see it here. I'm also really happy with what I just got out of it.
Yeah, if you were playing a round of golf and hit that all day, I'm sure you couldn't complain. Let's do one more. I'm curious, again, I always like to take a look at that landing angle, and 48 degrees is awesome. No problem stopping it on the green with that.
So a little heavy there. I'm curious to see how that finishes.
Yeah, same descent.
Really easy to get up in the air.
Yeah, and it's definitely designed, again, for a player that, in general, you're a better player with the size of the club for sure. So not nearly the forgiveness in those compared to almost any other club in the TaylorMade line. These are for guys who like a smaller profile and, in general, are going to be your better players.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit more forgiveness now. We're still, again, small profile overall. I'd have actually, I'd be really happy to put those in my bag, but we do now still have a little bit more tech in there. Off center shots we'd expect to be a little faster, a little longer, a little thicker sole, so when you do have that shot like you just had, you get a level of forgiveness built into it.
Yeah, I think we'll see a little bit more ball speed retention on something like that for sure. It's a great package though. It does not look that different than that CB, which is again,
I feel like blade length is the same. It's really until you look at the bottom that you really can't tell much of a difference. And that was the biggest change up in the 770 from the prior generation, was really just changed the shape. So kept a lot of the similar tech, but made it in a little more aesthetically pleasing package, in my opinion.
We're gonna go 3 shots with this one. There we go. Yeah, you can feel the speed off the face for sure. This one feels a little bit more compressed, but a little bit firmer, actually. That felt a little softer off the face. I think, to me, that one is also going to be a little bit more workable, which again, that's a player's iron thing. This one is going to be more help and, you know, straightish. Having swung them both now, there definitely is a little bit more offset in the 770, which again is expected. It's not crazy though. Like previous generations, it's been a way bigger difference. So very, very interesting here.
Yeah, and I can just tell the acoustics of you hitting one versus the other. Again, your 1025 forged iron has a slightly different auditory sound compared to the 770, which is again, a little bit of a hollow body construction. And then that sound typically is then what the player perceives as feel, or at least an aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, like that ball's mashed. The speed coming off this is...
Landing at 49, plenty of spin, plenty of launch. Again, no problem. And I really think that it just comes down to, for one, what does the player like to look at when they put it down? Like you said, slightly more offset. If you had them by themselves, you probably couldn't tell, but side by side, a little bit more. And then just what kind of forgiveness does the player need across the face to maintain ball speed? But then, you know, is the miss a little thin, a little fat? That's where some of the technology in the 770 could help you out. The speed through slot for the thin shots, and then the little thicker sole for the heavy ones.
Yeah, and then the 770 is following the previous generation 790 with that flighted CG inside, so the internals are all different on every iron. You know, combo sets nowadays are a pretty big deal. A lot of people play them. There was an issue with the previous generation of 7 Series where the 770, the MC, it required some tweaking to those clubs, which not a lot of people were comfortable with doing the tweaking that was kind of required. I mean, just based on what we saw, I see these being a real attractive combo set in some people's bags.
Yeah, especially with the flighted CG, like you mentioned, it just makes, again, the versatility of the clubs better, I guess is the word to use, as well as then if you did want to combo them, I think you're correct. People have an easier job doing that. So awesome. Well, again, if you've been a TaylorMade fan in the past, I think you definitely have a winner in the 7CB and the 770. Again, I like them both. I know which one I would pick, but if you are interested in either of these or any other irons, what you need to do is log on to GOLFTEC.com and find a local GOLFTEC coach near you. Jake, again, thanks for coming in and checking out some clubs with us.
Absolutely. Pleasure.